I know where Odin's eye is hidden, deep in the wide-famed well of Mimir. Mead from the pledge of Odin each morn does Mimir drink. Would you know yet more? Our heroes have been walking the path. They don't know how long they have been on Yggdrasil, but they have encountered a nightmare monster and have met 3 strange ladies in a circus tent. What will they find out? Let's see. Government-mandated banter?
Yeah, but you have to do your intro.
I do have to do my intro, god damn it. Hello, everybody.
Then we introduce ourselves?
Yep.
No.
Keep
Hello,
that
everybody, and welcome
Oh,
to...
that's staying in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Rendezvous with Destiny, a Scion actual play podcast. As ever, I am your GM Luce, and with me today I have...
Hi, I'm Graham. I play the character of Elspeth Lockwood, and I'm looking forward to some creepy circus antics on this giant tree, which is... That's a weird combination the more I think about it, actually. Like, what a situation we have found ourselves in.
Things can only go well.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Will. I play the character of Cleo Brewer, who is a hunter of Bast, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting to punch some things today, do a bit of the old combat, because it's what my character is good at.
That's highly likely.
Cleo
Wonderful,
says,
not at all scary.
beating up old ladies for fun.
Yes.
Hello, I am Am, and I play Flora Watson, a daughter of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. Slams hand on table, give me backstory, emotional, dramatic hours. This is what I want. Loose, gimme.
They will be coming. They are planned.
Hey guys, we've been doing this for a year.
Which is a terrifying thought.
Cool.
Considering Luce just dropped this as like a vague concept, they're like, what if we just played a game and recorded it as a podcast?
What if we did a
in, like, our group
podcast?
chat? Like
It was so
15
very
months
much like
ago or something, yeah.
Yeah. It was very much, haha, wouldn't it be funny if?
Yeah.
But
That was
wait,
the
what
entire
if we
vibe,
really
yes.
did it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's what happens when you get 4 idiots who don't know how to quit and with lots of ego in one audio space.
Yes.
Ah, the delightful combination.
Isn't it just?
But I thought we could use this time to do some thank yous for people who have been awesome and very cool and helped get this podcast made. And I'd like to do, as your friendly editor, I'd like to give my first big thank you to Kevin Macleod. So
Nice.
You're probably not listening, but your music you've been the backing music for this podcast for almost a year now. I've composed only 2 pieces. We got a couple things from YouTube that are free use, but you are carrying this on your back like Atlas holds up the sky, and I love you, and that's what I wanted to say. I also wanted to say big thank you to you 3 for being cool and understanding my little creepy editor ways when I make weird demands of you. I had to ask Graham for him sipping an audio of him sipping a drink one time.
It was very weird.
With like ice cubes?
Yeah.
You were
Yes.
very
You did
specific.
specify ice cubes.
You did specify
Yeah.
that. I had to go and get some, and then it was just water, but we had to pretend it was something like classy and cool.
Whiskey, I think.
Yeah.
And the audio was beautiful.
And I would like
So,
to say
yeah,
a big
I
thank you to Am for editing this mess.
Yes,
Oh
correct.
no!
So much effort must be put in to make us manageable.
But yeah, I think, Graham DM'd one of my first ever games of TTRPG, which is where I met Luce. And the start of my relationship with Will was just us awkwardly inviting one another to TTRPG games.
Yeah.
So this, as much as my love for this game is built on my love for all of you.
Oh.
Ew.
You're going to
That's
make me
very
cry.
gross.
You're not.
Okay,
but,
I'm done now.
I have no soul.
Go
but-
thank you. Do you guys have anyone else to thank?
Yeah, I mean, I I guess I know she listens to this, so I want to thank Stassi for being the president of our fan club, starting our AO3 tag, which is something we have now. So go and write your fics
There is
there.
fan fiction.
There is fan fiction out there for you guys to go and read. So
Which is
go
very good.
read. So yeah, I'd like to thank Stassi for that, and just general sort of love and support of our characters, and yeah. It's just nice to have something appreciated, I guess. So thank you, Stassi, for that.
And also just all the listeners in general, I guess.
Yeah,
who
just
have
anyone who
stuck
listens,
with us
anyone
for
who,
a
like,
whole year.
who's been there from the beginning, anyone who's joined later. We love
Yeah.
you all. Thank you.
Those who've been here from the beginning, I hope we've got better. In fact, I know we
I
have.
think we have.
We absolutely have.
And those who are just joining us, welcome to the club. We have cookies. We don't have cookies. The cookies are a lie.
Oh,
We
God.
missed you. We're excited you're here. Oh yeah, what was that a reference to?
I can't remember.
It was like half Portal, half like Come to the Dark Side. We have cookies.
Yeah, it was like a mixture of
it's,
both.
no. There is a thing because there was "Come to the Dark Side, we have cookies," and there was like a response to that, which is, we like that. Then the whole thing was like a response to "Come to the Dark Side, we have cookies," saying, "Oh no, we don't have cookies." It was all.
What did you expect? We're the dark side, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that being the vibe.
Either way, it was a reference which deeply shows Graham's age.
Wow, like everything
Yeah.
I
Graham's
say.
a millennial. Graham is the only millennial on this podcast.
Yeah.
Luke's just the same age as
However,
me.
you are at least in
No,
terms of like pop culture. You're
the
a
same
couple of
year
years
as
ahead
you,
of
but I'm
Luke's.
technically.
Yeah.
No, wait, we are the same.
We're
no,
the same
you're
age.
technically a year older.
I guess, yeah. Wait, are
Different
you
year, so we're the same
97?
age, but different. Yeah. So I'm like the oldest possible Gen Z.
Wow, feels bad.
I am excited for Edgar Wright's new film, which is coming out soon.
Really?
Oh, what is it?
Oh
Is
my
it?
gosh, me too.
Tell me more.
Well-
It has a lady.
I know it's
Ooh.
Anya
That sounds like him.
Taylor-Joy is the lead,
Oh, that's fun. I like that. She's cool.
and it's also got Matt Smith, yeah, as in like Doctor Who Matt Smith.
What a
Yeah.
slightly
Weird.
rogue casting.
That is
from
rogue
Yeah,
casting
and-
indeed. Has he been in anything recently?
Matt Smith.
Yeah.
He does a lot of
Oh,
theatre.
he was in The Crown, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yes. He's in The Crown, and he was in Official Secrets, which is the Keira Knightley film about the whistleblower.
Oh yes, I
Oh,
also
yeah.
saw that. Was he in that?
Yes, it says so according to his IMDb. So I
I
trust
don't
it.
remember him being in that, and I saw that in the cinema.
It made such an impression. We can tell.
I quite enjoyed it actually, but I don't remember him being in it. He probably was, but we all know me. I am about as observant
Yes.
as a goldfish.
I love
Yes,
that you don't
exactly.
trust IMDb. You're like, he probably was there. Who
And-
Oh
can
no, it's
say?
more I
So-
don't trust my eyes.
Yeah. Also in this film is Terrence Stamp, so it is just a completely rogue like top three
That is
casting.
all over the place. I like that, but it's
it's a psychological horror film, which is really interesting. 'Cause
Huh.
It's like not at all what he's done before.
so. Is it way more
Interesting.
serious?
I think so.
No.
I don't know.
I can't imagine
think
Edgar
so.
Wright doing a serious film.
No.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, but
I do like psychological horror though.
yeah.
No.
I mean, he's like a really big film nerd, and he loves like 50s horror films. So
Yeah,
I
that
have no
tracks.
idea. I have no idea what's gonna occur, but I'm excited for it nonetheless.
Exciting. That is cool.
I am also excited about our shiny new cover art.
Mm.
Which is
Yes,
hopefully
very
a thing.
pretty.
Yeah.
If not, this
If
is where you
everything
can cut
goes-
this out, Am.
Yeah. If everything goes according to plan, we have some beautiful new art designed by Hamilton from Dragon's Duel. And we love him very much. He is my adopted big cousin now.
Oh, what a great dynamic.
He's just a lovely David Bowie fan.
Oh, yes.
That tracks. That does track.
Correct.
Yeah, Lucy,
type
you
of
get on
fan.
real well.
Yeah.
All GMs have to be David Bowie fans, legally.
It's
And
just the
you
mood.
can find his podcast, which Am and I did a guest episode on, playing a lovely GIF man at Dragon's Duel on Twitter. So check it out. Spread the love.
Go check it out. They're very cool. Speaking of psychological horrors, Luce.
Yes. Should we get started?
I thought you were just referring to Luce in general.
Oh, I
Wow.
mean,
Also true.
Also plausible.
Yeah,
Well, they're
Just
also
general
incredibly
psychological horror.
just a horror.
Yeah.
I aspire to just gently terrify everyone I meet.
It's going well for
Luce's
you.
gender is Lovecraftian horror.
Yes.
Eldritch.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Eldritch. It's just
Eldritch. Yes, not Lovecraftian. We don't like Lovecraft.
Yeah.
But yes,
Well,
Eldritch horror vibes.
Lovecraftian is alright, but Lovecraft is not alright.
I may have taken some inspiration from
Yes.
some stuff he's created.
Excuse me?
All the racism, but
Not the racism, but
not the
I'm just gonna
racism.
leave that out.
No, I know, but this also means there will be, eldritch horrors coming to destroy us.
Amelia, we're on a giant tree with weird tentacle
You're on a
things in
giant
space.
tree in a circus tent with 3 weird women.
This is
They're fun.
definitively
It's
the
fun
vibe.
fortune tellers.
It's gonna be a nice time.
Sure,
We're
it's
gonna have
fine.
fun.
it's a nice circus tent.
Yeah, they're just fortune tellers. That's all they are.
Yay.
What are they doing?
A rendezvous with destiny. It gets intense.
Sometimes stuff gets weird.
Thank you.
Ah,
That was so bad, Will.
I know.
What was it a reference to?
Yeah, just
Intense.
tense.
Intense.
Oh my god! Oh
Yeah,
my god!
yeah. We can cancel him now.
Good.
I love you so much.
Disgusting.
Not on my podcast.
Get
please.
out.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
Well, there's nothing I can do, but oh well. So, as we left our lovely Scions, you were sat round a table in a circus tent with some slightly strange women, who I thought you'd know who they were and you didn't, which slightly threw me. Oh well.
I was just method acting.
So there's these 3 women, they kind of, when you look at them, their features shift and warp and you can't really tell what they look like. And they look almost identical, but the slight warping and shifting, almost as if there is something behind their faces. Well,
This is deeply unsettling.
do you want to know your future?
Oh yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Can I just say that she doesn't speak for all of us? I'm probably alright, I think.
Yeah.
All as one, they turn to stare at you, Cleo. All heads all cocked exactly the same angle, slightly to one side.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, that's great.
Interesting.
Very well. Chosen of Bast, we will not scry your future. What about you, son, child?
I feel like maybe we're not getting much of an option here. I'm gonna say a tentative yes.
They sort of nod at you and look around. They sort of pass over Loki. They look at Loki, pass over him, and say, "Your future, we never were able to tell. Too much shift and warp. But the rest of you, this will be fun." One of them holds out a bowl, and another one holds out a dagger. And
Oh no.
just
But it's
one
like that,
drop of
okay.
blood from each of you. It helps when reading the tapestry.
I'm gonna kind of look at Loki. This is fine, right? They can't do weird stuff with beyond obviously the whole future reading thing. They're not gonna mind control me or anything. This is okay.
Yeah, it's they're not going to mind control you. That's fine.
Okay. Give him my
Just-
hand.
Be careful. So they're offering the knife out to you. Do you
I'll take the knife and I'll just drive the tip into the thumb of her non-dominant hand.
sensible? Good. Yes. So a drop of blood falls from where you've pricked your finger and splashes into the bowl below. Elspeth, do you do the same?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Pretty much exactly the way that I just saw Flora do it.
Very good.
Cleo, you sure you don't want to know?
Yeah, I can explain why, but I'm alright letting myself discover my future as I get there, you know?
I'm sad that you didn't have a discourse between Fred and these women or Madison and these women, because I love hearing you talk to yourself.
I'm not talking
It
to
makes me
myself
so
more
happy.
than I have to. Both Fred drops some blood into the bowl, Madison doesn't.
Interesting.
That it definitely tracks that Fred would do that. By the way,
Yeah, Fred would
Oh,
probably
of
do
course
it like
it does. It's
with a
Fred.
random bowl he found, just anywhere.
yeah.
So
Yeah, interesting that Madison's not doing it.
they take the bowl, and one of them brings out these carved they almost stones, you think, as you first see them, with little stones with runes carved into them. And they drop them all into the blood and start spinning the bowl round. And you ever heard of those like Tibetan singing bowls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it starts making that kind of noise as they start as the one in the middle is spinning this bowl, and it's now spinning so fast that you can't see it. And she tosses not the entire bowl, but she just flicks the bowl up. The bowl stays in her hand, and these rune stones fly up into the ceiling that looks a lot taller than it should be from what you saw from outside.
TARDIS tent.
TARDIS tent. And they clatter down onto the table. And as you look at them, you can see they're not stone, but they are instead bits of finger bone that have been carved with these runes. They're still now, and the blood has soaked into where the runes has been carved, and it's now a deep, deep red, and the rest of the white bone is pristine.
Oh my goodness.
They all sort of hunch down over these rune bones, and they don't touch them, but they just sort of move their heads, almost oscillating, swaying in a breeze, and they're all moving at exactly the same time. And they look down and they seem to be reading the runes. And they're there for a long time. And then, as one, they look up. You have a dangerous path ahead of you.
Ha! Okay.
I mean, yeah.
You seek to free the wolf. You will succeed in that.
Oh, hell yeah.
First you must travel down, deep underneath the roots of Yggdrasil, before you can begin the climb again. You must visit Mimir's well, or you will not succeed with your final task. Loki looks somewhat horrified by this statement. And the women they almost seem to start fading away. Do not trust everyone you meet. And then they vanish. It's almost like they were never there. Circus tent, everything gone.
Oh. Wait, do you think that includes them?
I mean, yeah, that was my first thought. Although, so we've got to go all the way
Down.
back down.
More stairs.
Really? Ugh.
Seems like...
That's... yeah.
God.
At least we know we're
God's-
going to succeed. That's good.
Well, we know we're going to succeed in releasing Fenrir. We don't know if we're going to succeed in anything else. So that's not actually overly helpful.
I was just trying to enjoy that. Thanks.
Sorry. Yes,
That's okay.
but if we succeed in that, we may well succeed in the other things. Many times, haven't even succeeded in that. So, that is a step in the right direction.
Do they normally appear when you do this?
Not all the
thing?
time. They do it in different ways.
Okay.
They're
Who are they?
very
Go on.
strange. They are the sisters. We call them the Norns.
They're strange. So how are we gonna go down? Is it just like a fireman's pole kind of thing? Or, I
was
want to
just
make a
thinking that.
call me by your name reference so bad right now.
thinking that.
I think we are going to need to ask for help.
Squirrel ride?
Yeah?
That's not quite what I was thinking, but
Ah.
if what I'm thinking doesn't work out, quite possibly.
I just think it would be fun to meet the squirrel. I think Cleo's so good with animals, she could probably convince him.
That is
I mean, I'm used to
true.
earth animals. I don't know about this one.
And let's-
What's plan A?
Plan A is to call an old friend and offer a favour. And at that, Loki takes a knife, cuts his other hand that isn't attached to still attached to
Jesus.
the weird magical rope, and starts speaking in a language you don't understand. And as blood starts dripping, it's not hitting the surface of the tree. It's disappearing.
Ooh.
And as it continues to do this, you start to hear what sounds like hoofbeats and a rattling of a carriage.
That's
And
cool.
You can't see anything, but you're looking round, and eventually you start to see part of the stars out in front of you seem to shift. You know when you get that weird circular blur effect?
I love that.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
starts to that almost like vortexy thing.
So
It starts
cool.
to do that and twists. And then suddenly you see this great black horse with a rider and the carriage attached behind. And as you get closer, you see that this rider does not have a head.
Nice.
Ooh.
Maybe not
It's
nice for them.
holding
but
its head underneath its arm.
excellent.
And it pulls to a stop, and you notice that the horse is not... They're not directly on the branch, they're slightly to the side of this branch. And this horse and carriage just seem to float. They seem to be walking on their own ground.
Can I go and offer the horse the palm of my hand to give it a little sniff so I can pet it?
You can. You're gonna have
Yes.
to roll me
Oh no!
something.
Sky
You're
on
gonna
version
have
of
to
animal
roll
handling.
me
Let's go.
Animal handling. Wait, no. Wrong game.
presence persuasion.
It's gonna eat your hand.
I just want to pet a
It's
horse.
gonna eat your hand.
It's a creepy horse. Presence
Creepy
persuasion,
horse.
please.
Have you ever met a horse? All horses are creepy.
That's
All
true.
horses are
No.
creepy. This one is just more
That's so
creepy
mean.
than most. Not the creepiest horse.
Graham, horses are balls of anxiety that could drop dead at any instant for no reason.
They're fine as long as you don't stand behind them. Then they just flip out.
I talk at length about it's like a graph where it's size versus intelligence, and horses are too far up size and too low on intelligence for me to ever trust them.
They're like cows.
3
if cows have no
successes,
chill.
baby.
Ooh,
I'm
3
petting that
successes.
horse.
This
let's
horse
go.
turns towards you, and you see it is this horse is entirely black. And as it turns towards you, you see that its eyes are red, and it almost
Aw.
seem to be less eyes and more like pits of fire.
Nightmare. It's a nightmare.
But it looks at your palm, sort of snuffles it, then sort of butts its head into your chest.
Yes!
Success. We
Nice.
can go home now, guys. We've done it.
Making friends with all the animals.
This is our new dog for this season.
Yeah. This is the big dog.
Big doggo.
Big dog.
Horses are
indeed.
just big dogs.
That I don't think that holds up.
So that
Sorry.
does not stack. But yeah,
Unlike horses,
the
which could
horse
stack.
is letting you pet it and sort of like doing the thing where it sort of like gently. It doesn't do that. It's sort of thing where it's like gently leaning its head on your chest and just like yes, and it's just letting you do like
Cleo,
a little bit of a
come pet this
scratch.
horse. It's so good.
I'm alright, thank you.
Is the head under the guy's arm, like looking at us?
Yeah, it's in the middle of having a one-sided conversation with Loki.
Huh.
Again, the head isn't speaking, but Loki will be saying a sentence, will be saying something, waiting as if he's as if they're listening, and then responding back. it's in a language that you don't understand. Or, if you want, you can have a go at trying to understand it.
I'd love to do that. That's exactly what I want to do.
If anyone wants to try and understand the language, it's going to be intellect academics.
Yeah. Let's pop off.
Will, you gonna try?
No.
It's actually only 6 dice. Probably more.
I'm preoccupied with the horse, so
Fred is also coming over to say hello to the horse.
yes.
Give him a little roll.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. You can't understand what Loki is saying, but you think you understand what the language is, but you just don't know the language.
Nice.
It sounds to be sort of some very, very old sort of Gaelic language. Sort of
Fun.
ancient.
Ah.
Yeah, very fun indeed. Fred comes over, and Fred did very well on his horse petting.
Excellent.
5 successes from Fred, so Fred is there with the horse as well, which is good. And from him,
I guess
get the idea that Fred probably, if Fred was a girl, would have been a horse girl.
Yeah, he
oh, yeah,
has
big time.
horse girl
Definitely.
energy.
But instead, he
tracks.
is fencing boy, because that is the equal sort of vibe you can get.
Sword guy is the equivalent of horse girl.
Yes, it is.
I can spot
He
that.
studied the blade.
So he's just
He has like crappy mole katanas in his bedroom.
That's
would
so
not
Fred.
surprise me. And Loki turns to all of you and says, "Well, we have a ride." And he opens the door to the carriage and sort of gestures for you all to step in.
Hi Scions, I'm here with your mid-episode break. Before we get on to our promo swap with our very lovely friends, I just wanted to take this opportunity to plug some of my stuff, because I forget to do that at the end of the episode, like a dummy. So this is where you can find me on the Actual Play podcast Deck of Many Aces. That's Deck of Many Aces on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else you find good podcasts. We play D&D 5e, and it's an actual podcast with actual asexuals. You can also find me for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, if you're listening to this when it comes out, on Weave the Tales Twitch stream for more of Ravenswood Academy at 8 p.m. On Thursdays. I believe I've got 2 more weeks of those left when this airs, so come and catch me before it's too late. I'd also like to take this opportunity to plug our AO3 tag again. We love seeing the stuff you guys make, so if you're a fan and you're creative and you want to make something, please, please, please share it with us. We want to share that with the rest of our fans, and just thank you for engaging with our little podcast that we make. We love you guys so much, and anything you write, draw, just are inspired by, we always want to see. So please do share it with us. We'd really love to see what you've come up with. Speaking of fan works, boy, do I have a podcast for you. This week we've done an ad swap with someone a little bit different than our usual go-to. It is Midnight Fun, which began as a reading of Twilight's Midnight Sun by 2 of my close friends who are English graduates. We did our undergraduate degrees together. So they provide sort of a literary analysis take on the novel. And now they're moving into season 2, so they're focusing more on monster boyfriend, essentially, fan works. I know their first episode, which should have aired by now, is What We Do in the Shadows, and I'm hoping that I can run a vampire masquerade game for them at some point. They're really great girls, the funniest people you will ever meet, and I cannot recommend them enough. You can find them at Midnight Fun on Twitter, Instagram, and I believe TikTok, and you can also find their promo right now.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Liv, and we're Midnight Fun.
Join us as we sink our teeth into the peaks and pits of supernatural media with unironic, unadulterated enthusiasm, whether it's a cult classic or a kitschy catastrophe.
If it's got fangs, frilly shirts, or just a tastefully dishevelled Hugh Jackman in layers of leather, we're in.
We take a deep dive into
Should you date or stake?
what dusty corners of the internet were once devoted to theories and thirst.
Is this film trying to make us worse people?
Do these vampires have a moral obligation to vote? We'll be separating our Damon Salvatores from our Draculas to find the most dateable demons.
It's Dracula, obviously. Find us bi-weekly wherever you get your podcasts.
Just search Midnight Fun.
And remember,
Vampires make terrible
boyfriends.
Yay! I say goodbye to the horse, give it a little kiss, and then I'm gonna get in the carriage.
There's a little whinny.
Oh no, you can do better than that, Luz. Come on.
Let it out. Let it all out.
That's as good as that is gonna
No,
go.
go on, full volume.
I'm not doing a full volume nay. Maybe later.
I think you should do it.
So I'll just get an email at 1 a.m. with no title from Luz
Yeah.
and with a sound file attached that's just a whinny.
I love the implication that they would record this full volume Winnie at 1 a.m. just to shock the rest of the neighbourhood.
Yes, the rest of the
I think-
very peaceful hamlet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a photo of Luz's domicile. There is not much space around.
Domicile.
That was such a weird word to use.
That was such a choice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you all enter. Do you all enter into this carriage? It seems very
Yeah.
old-fashioned.
Yes.
I do.
It's sort of, the sort of very old-fashioned Victorian-style ones that have the lamps.
Oh yeah, I love the lamp.
Yeah.
I love a carriage lantern.
The aesthetic is so sexy. I'm really digging it.
Incredibly sexy.
Sexy lamp.
But the one thing you do find a bit odd is that the headless man is riding the horse. He's not sat on the carriage where you think the driver would sit to control the horse. He is sat on the horse itself.
The horse is attached to the carriage, right?
Yes, the
physically.
horse is attached to the carriage.
I feel like he's maybe. Actually, I should probably say it in Flora's voice. So, all those old stories, do you think maybe he's just a headless horseman kind of dude and he just figured he'd make a living out of it?
Everyone's got to have a job, I suppose. Get bored after a while. Too much time being the leader of the headless hunt, the wild hunt. You're like, I can be a
I'm
taxi
glad
now.
that you figured out exactly what I did there.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life, right?
As you all pile into the carriage, you can see that even though from the outside it's very old-fashioned, it's quite sort of mod-con-y inside. So there's a mini fridge, there's a TV,
Ooh.
there's really comfy seats. Almost like, the inside of really fancy stretch limousines.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe inside here. And you can see there's a little tag saying, almost like Uber. It says, do
I was
Dan's
gonna do an
taxi
Uber
service.
reference.
Please leave a 5-star rating.
I was gonna do a reference. I was gonna do a bit about that. Goddamn.
You can still do a bit. There is still scope for the bit.
Yes?
Lucid Will are just the same person mentally.
So there's just this little sign that says, do the Hands taxi service. Please leave a 5-star rating. And it's really fancy inside. And then what I want you all to do for me is roll composure
Wait,
survival.
why?
Is this to see if we're sick on the taxi ride?
Who'll roll me composure survival, please?
I have nothing in survival. That's so bad.
I am not sure about that. I have.
I have 3 dice.
I've
I
got
have 4 to go here.
4.
I got no successes. I'm gonna throw up.
3, 4. I've got 1 success.
I got 2 successes.
Fred
damn
also
it.
got 2.
Go on, Loki. Join me in the fail.
Got 1.
How'd Loki do?
Oh, Loki's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
just
you
me.
do notice just before the carriage starts to move that there are little individual, in airplanes you get the vomit bags.
Oh yeah.
There
Oh,
are
yes.
those.
Oh, those
So-
things smell so weird.
Starts to move normally.
Okay.
Sort of
So
starts.
far, so good.
So what you can see, you can just sort of hear a sort of. Don't really hear anything, but it's almost like the horse starts walking, then starts trotting. It's going through up, and so it starts galloping. And you think at this point it's probably just galloping along the length of the branch, and then it dives off the side.
No.
Cool,
You
cool,
are
cool.
going straight down. The
Okay.
feeling, you feel like you've left your stomachs about 50 yards behind you at this point. It's like being on the world's most intense roller coaster. You essentially plummet, and then the carriage starts to bank round to the side. I mean, it's almost like the inside of the carriage is almost a bit gyrocoptic, so you're not, falling about in his side. It's staying pretty level, but you can still feel the movement. Horse starts banking round, and there are windows, and you can see what the horse is doing is essentially just doing a big, like a large spiral all the way round the tree. The corkscrew going down and down and down.
Very cool.
So how do you all react to this?
Flora's having the time of her life. She's like throwing her hands up, like yelling excitedly like she's on a roller coaster.
Cleo's gone quite pale and is really like gripping like one of those like handheld things.
Both me and Will's IRL reaction to roller coasters.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was just gonna turn to Madison and be like, Professor, could you roll down the window, please?
He looks over you.
I don't feel so good.
Madison is also looking. He's keeping it together, but he's very much like Cleo. Is looking very pale. Is like sitting very still. Is holding on to things. He reaches over and like presses a button. The window winds down.
How is that? Like, is there a lot of airflow going on now? Are we about to get sucked out of the window?
No,
Is it a bad
there's
idea?
not a lot of airflow at all. It seems to be a little colder inside now, but there's no sort of wild airflow going on. You're not being sucked towards the window.
I want to like look at the horizon, but there isn't one. There's just tree.
Yeah, it's bad looking outside because what you can see is either bark or expansive space.
Don't like this.
Madison reaches over and winds the window back up and just gently closes the curtains.
Thank you.
Loki seems to be enjoying themselves. They're not quite on Flora's level. They are just sort of sitting in the corner, sort of just smiling to themselves. Seem to be quite happy. They've opened the mini fridge and they've taken out some form of, you don't know what it is. It's a glass bottle with something in it, and they're drinking it. And Fred seems to be, again, not quite Flora level, but doing similar sort of things as if he really likes a good roller coaster. Do any of you do anything else while you are in the taxi?
No.
How long does it take?
You're still travelling. You don't know how long it will take, but you know you were
Okay.
maybe halfway up the tree, and you've got to go all the way down to the bottom.
I think after a few minutes, the novelty of like excited yelling sort of wears off, and Flora kind of scoots over to where Cleo and Elspeth are looking a little bit worse for wear, and is just kind of like, "Hey, do you guys want me to put something on the TV?"
Not really.
I think
Okay,
I'll be alright, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Give Cleo's hand a little pat. I mean, this is fun. So the squirrel would have been cool though. What do you guys think is down under the roots? There's a well, right?
So, sorry. This maybe as well is where Odin got his foresight. So hopefully we'll be able to, learn something down there. Maybe gain some power.
Oh my god.
I don't really know why we're being
Magic
sent
powers?
down there though. You have to sacrifice something usually. There's a reason he only
Oh.
has one eye.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I've always thought I look quite good with two eyes. So.
Yeah, they don't even work. I gestured to her glasses.
Oh.
Sorry,
Savage.
I didn't mean it like that.
I was
It's
trying
just
to
trying
stay
to make you feel
positive,
better.
and it kind of worked actually. Like,
Okay, good. Well, what? So we've got to like sacrifice something, and hopefully we'll get some
I don't
power.
know.
And then...
I'm not sure. We'll find out when we get there, I suppose.
I'm gonna kind of like scoot Elspeth a bit away from where the others are sitting. I'm gonna kind of be like, I am worried that
Same.
because Cleo and Madison didn't put in their blood, and they said we'd succeed, but we don't know if they'll be with us.
That's.
So
Mm,
nothing's gonna happen to him, right?
I hadn't thought of that. That's some good lateral thinking that I don't like.
Thank you. I'm very good at that.
I think they'll be fine. I mean, if we succeed, right, that means I'm sure it will take all of us to do so, so I'd assume they'll be fine, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, there's only one way we'll find out, I guess.
You're like the strongest person ever. You're gonna kick ass. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Go team. Is it too early to suggest a team name?
What were you going to suggest?
I don't have one. I just think we should have one.
I think we should too, but I nothing's like organically come out yet.
I mean, in a lot of myths, people get named by like, people or gods or whatever. So maybe someone will name us, and then we don't have to do any of the legwork.
Yeah, we can put the pressure on someone else to come up with a team name.
Sips
Ha
coffee.
ha ha.
God damn it.
So yeah, I think
You're travelling
Oh, go on.
for quite a while as you roll down this tree, essentially. And after a while, it seems to stabilise out a little bit more. Elspeth, you're not feeling quite so like you want to vomit. Loki reaches into the mini fridge and offers you a glass bottle or something, and you sniff it, and it seems to be some sort of ginger tea. Do you think might help settle things?
I'll give it a sip, a little sip.
It's very good ginger tea, and it is making you feel less awful. So these looping spirals continue quite a while, and then you can feel the carriage slowing down. And it slows down, and it stops, and the door opens automatically. And as you look out, you can see you're still on the tree, but everything looks very different down here. It's a lot more gloomy, it's a lot darker. The tree seems to be not a different type of tree, but the wood seems to be darker, more cracked. And as you look around, you can see these 3 sort of massive root systems, and you're perched on one of them, and you can see, you don't know quite how far away it would be to walk, but maybe a couple of hours, you can see this pool of water that seems to be dripping. Seems to be like almost not quite a waterfall, but there seems to be water dripping down the tree, and it's dripping into this pool. And in the centre of this, I say pool, it's more like a lake, and in the centre of this lake there is an island with a grove that obscures what is within. Loki stands up, moves out of the carriage, and sort of goes, well, this is as far as he can take us, so have to go our own way from here, I'm afraid. Thank you. He sort of pats the headless horseman on the shoulder, clicks something, he puts his head back in, clicks the 5 stars on the...
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask
stars.
how we did that, because I wanted to give him a 5-star
You've given him
rating.
a 5 stars. He doesn't nod because he can't, but he sort of... His shoulders move a bit as if he would be nodding. The door closes and the horse starts to move off again, and again it's that weird sort of vortex shift move, and the carriage is gone.
He seemed nice.
Yeah.
That
He's
was...
an old friend.
I did not enjoy that, but he seemed cool.
Yeah, normally, if it's a very useful service. They can go pretty much anywhere. Normally, it's better if you're on the flat, but I thought better to quickly get down the tree rather than having to climb it. And he looks up, and this tree stretches on so far you can't see the top. And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to climb up that as well." That's
Can we
not
not?
going to be fun.
Can't we get another taxi ride?
Didn't you listen to what
Yeah.
the Norns said?
Yeah.
They said we had to climb, which is annoying.
Wait, I can't use my cloud?
What?
Maybe if you like mind
My cloud,
climbing.
I do this. She kind of like gestures to the space below her and then realizes she can't summon it. She only has like a couple summons, so she's not going to waste it. Actually, no, Flora's an idiot. She says,
True.
my cloud, I can summon it like this, and summons her cloud and she's sitting on it. And then she goes, wait, oh god.
Wait, it's not bad. You can use it to catch the island.
I guess. Anyone want to hop on?
Can we hop on? Does that work? Like, is there room for
I think
us
we
there?
established there's a 2-person limit.
There is a 2-person limit.
But I can go back and forth.
It's like that riddle. You can only put, like, you can't put
Yeah,
Madison and Loki together because they might get up to something. So you got to come backwards and forwards.
Very
So
fun.
you start. You can see where you need
actually-
to get to, and you're in this sort of route system. You can see you're going to have to sort of walk along these routes that sort of twist and turn and branch off. So, for that, can everyone please roll me dexterity,
No.
athletics?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. That's 6. That's okay.
This is fine.
That is a D8. That is not a D10.
That's
I
lucky.
got 1 success.
I'd just like to remind everyone that we do have our braces, which can make all 7 and up successes if we want to. I did consider using it to pet the horse, but I decided not to.
Oh, you totally should have. I know you succeeded anyway, but...
Six successes.
6.
6.
6.
I have 10 dice and I got 2 explodies.
That's in
so-
the number after 5 and before 7. That's so many.
Yeah.
2 for float.
Nice. Madison got 2, Fred 5.
I love that I consistently am doing the worst at all the rolls.
4 for Loki. So you all managed to make your way across these routes. There's a couple of hairy moments. Elspeth almost slips and falls at one point, but Cleo manages to grab her by the hand so she doesn't fall. You're trying not to look down. This tree just ends in the middle of space, and it's quite difficult not to. It's upsetting. There's nothing below you but more stars. But you do manage to eventually make your way across these routes. It takes a while. And now what you're standing on, where this pool is, there's almost like a donut of land around it. Sort of this thin strip of almost like scrubland. It's not very nice. But you can see that this island in the centre of this lake looks beautiful. So you can see lush green grass, like sandy beaches round the edge. These sort of beautiful, like almost willow-like trees with their tendrils flowing in the breeze. And you know you have to cross the lake, but you don't yet know how you're going to manage that. So you have the cloud that can carry 2 people. Is that what you're going to do?
Is there a boat around or anything?
As you look to either side, you can see that a little bit further of the way around this ring of land, there seems to be some sort of jetty. You're not sure if there's a boat or not, it's quite far in the distance, but you can see that there is this sort of jetty pontoon-like thing. Do you head towards it?
I think that's probably a good idea, because I'm a little bit... Is there like any pebbles or sticks around?
Yeah, both.
Can I just grab a pebble and just toss it across the water?
Are you
going
trying
to skim it?
Are you skimming it? Or are you just chucking it in the water? The island's quite distant. You wouldn't be able to hit the island with the pebble.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hit the island. I'm basically trying to see if there's anything that has the potential to snatch me out the air if I use my cloud.
I am. So as you're looking at this lake, the water... So this trickle of water from the tree is going down into the centre of the grove. But this water around the lake is completely still. It's unnaturally still. And the colours of the water... Obviously, water doesn't have a colour, it tends to reflect things. And it's reflecting the stars. And it's reflecting the colours of supernovas.
Nice.
As you chuck this pebble, it just sort of flies out, arcs down, hits the surface of the water, and these ripples start to spread out from where it hit.
Flora,
It seems to go on for quite a long time.
haven't you seen Lord of the Rings? You don't throw the stones into the big spooky lake.
Yeah, but I just want to know if something can, come and get me.
Guess we're gonna find out.
Could you all roll me
Oh no.
cunning
At the start,
subterfuge?
Before recording, Luce was saying, I wonder what monsters I can put. And like an idiot, I said, haha, well, there definitely won't be aquatic ones, will
Oh no,
there?
you did say
Look
that.
at me.
You did say
Look
that.
at
Oh my
me.
god.
I can't believe you called it.
What have I got to roll?
Cunning subterfuge, please, everyone.
Oh,
cutting
everyone?
What was the,
Oh,
what was the
no.
first one, please, Lise?
Hmm?
You said something in subterfuge.
Cunning, please.
I'm gonna roll my 1 dice.
Interesting.
Oh no. I'm
failed.
sorry.
I
have
failed.
4.
I should have used my braces.
Okay. 2
I got
successes.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Both got 2 successes. The ripples seem to go on for an unnaturally long time. But you don't really see anything else.
Oh, that was like a notice roll, huh?
You-
That's not good.
Continue to walk round to this jetty, this pontoon. As you do so, you do notice that there is sort of tucked onto the other side of this pontoon, away from where you were, so you couldn't quite see it. As you walk closer, you can see that there is sort of an old-fashioned looking rowing boat.
Does it look like it'll fit all of us?
It seems quite large, yeah.
Cool. I turn to Loki. This safe for us to use? Nothing weird, magic-y going on?
Listen, there's always weird magic-y stuff going on, but I know other people have used this boat and come back.
Was there
So-
anything in the water last time?
I've never been here before.
You've never
This is,
been-
wait, this is off track?
This is very off track.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Right.
that is either a very good thing
No, don't
or
finish
a
that
very
sentence.
bad thing.
Okay, you finish the sentence.
Sorry.
It's fine.
But I
This
have
is
not
good.
been here before in any of the lifetimes I have lived.
Oh no! Okay.
So
I
am
suddenly feel
blind here.
way worse about
When you
this.
say
Oh god.
blind here, what do you mean?
I don't know what might happen.
Okay.
The magic here is strange. I can't seem to sense anything.
Alright.
This place is old. The tree remembers. The tree does not forget what has happened, even if everyone else has. So this place is old. The magic is so old I don't understand it. No one does. So we're just gonna have to give it a go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Flora, you still have your cloud. Are you going to cloud, or are you going to go in the boat with everyone else? How are you doing this?
I'm not gonna cloud, I'm gonna do the boat. So
gonna
I
do the
could,
boat.
someone did just
So
for,
you could technically sit on the cloud in the boat.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Comfy
I'm gonna do that because in case something happens to the boat, I can grab like a person and keep them safe.
Very smart. I like that. How long do you have the cloud for?
I will look in my notes, but I think it's basically for as long as I want, with the
Awesome.
understanding that I won't be unreasonable about it.
Yeah, I'll say
Till
like
you
you
told
have
us
it
so.
until you cross the lake or something like that.
I can have it once per arc for as long as I like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So
We'll just keep it around. Like
I think
little
I'll probably
pet.
I'll probably desummon it when we get to the island.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And how we don't know how long that's going to be
Ah,
Yep.
why do you say these things?
well.
because I can.
Yeah.
So
I'm still reeling from the aquatic monster thing.
who is going to row?
Me.
I think Cleo and Ellie should row because they're strong.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can
it's,
do that.
it's one person per oar.
Oh,
Okay.
Cleo.
What? Is it designed for one person with 2 oars or?
No, it's designed 2 people, 1 oar each.
Great. Then I guess.
It's quite a big rowing boat. So
Awesome.
the 2 of you roll me stamina athletics, please.
I
And
can do that.
Flora, could you roll me
What?
cunning subterfuge again?
Come on, notice. I thought I was being so smart asking Loki.
I'm not going to.
Luce, I'm gonna use my brace. I'm gonna use my bracer for this roll.
Okay. So 6 up is a success.
One dice drop. That is. Okay. So, we've got two. Okay, so there's a 1, a 3, a 3, and a 3, but the other 2 are 10s.
Okay, so roll those again.
Another 10
Nice.
and a 4. So that's 3 successes.
3
Excellent
successes.
stuff.
Well, if it's another 10, you roll the 10 again. They keep on exploding until you stop rolling 10.
Yeah. So I rolled 2 10s, and then I rolled them both again, and then one of them was a 10, one of them was a 4, and then I rolled the other 10 again, and it wasn't a success.
Okay, cool. So, 3 successes. What did you guys get on your stamina athletics?
I got 2.
Do you want to know something really embarrassing? I rolled 7 dice and only got 1 success.
I rolled 8 and I got 2, so I'm not doing much better than you.
You're
but...
not too well. Like, the two, you're finding it a little bit tricky to get into a rhythm with each other, but you do sort of manage to do it. Fred, like you, Manison, also sort of looking out on this eerily still water. The only sort of thing that's disturbing it is this boat and the oars, creating these ripples and little frog pools as you row towards the island. As you continue to row, the distance seems to be getting larger.
Huh.
The island seems to be getting further away, even though you're rowing towards it. And then Flora,
Right.
you think you see something under the water. It's difficult to tell because this water is such strange colours, sort of blacks, splashes of violets and purples and yellows and reflected stars. But you think you see something under the water. It's quite far off, and you're not quite sure if you have seen anything at all. But whatever it is, it seems to be moving slowly towards the boat. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
No. Bad.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Bad.
Fun, I think you mean.
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
Totally.
This is so fun.
It's
I also
good.
managed to sneakily confirm canonically that Flora has watched Lord of the Rings, which I enjoy.
Yes, I did enjoy that.
Of course, Flora's watched Lord of the Rings. She's not like a bit massive nerd about it.
I feel
but
like
she's watched
Cleo
it.
hasn't.
Cleo is not, but Cleo
Yeah.
has watched. Canonically, Cleo likes the MCU, but hasn't watched Lord of the Rings, which is quite
I
fun.
remember that, yeah. What a dynamic.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
that
is
does
quite...
track, to be fair, like cinema releases, I suppose.
Yeah, right. It's a fun mixture. Also, like, Cleo is 19 in canon, so Lord of the Rings was, like, before she really remembers.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Flora watched a lot of old movies on TV because she's a latchkey kid, so like she would not do her homework when she got home. She would go and watch movies.
Elspeth quite clearly has a copy of the Silmarillion. Like,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elspeth...
Of course she does.
Elspeth really likes like the unreleased texts and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
the children of Huron or
Elspeth is the
whatever.
person who corrects Flora and Cleo when they call the big green dude Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Nice.
And is also there, like,
Yes.
trying to hold in, like, whenever she sees Aragorn kick a helmet, she's like, oh, mustn't say it.
That's just Graham in real life.
I
Yeah.
love those films.
Speaking of in real life, Will, if people were to find us in real life, where can they do that?
In real life, people can go to twitter.com and they can find us at RWD_pod, which is also our Insta handle. And if you want to listen to some wonderful back issues of our podcast, and you want to find more of our awful bantering with each other, then you can of course do that on Acast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else you get your podcasts at A Rendezvous with Destiny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Yay.
nice.
We have
Very
a
cute.
Discord too that Will is the mod of, and he does such a good job.
Well, I think you all technically have mod powers. You just like don't.
We just don't know how to use it.
I
don't
just
know.
And there
occasionally
is, like,
lurk
no
to
need for it at the
respond to
moment.
something that
Yeah.
someone posted like 5 days ago, then disappear again.
Yes.
You are such like a in and out person.
If you want to be ignored by Luce, check out our Discord.
Or just
there's a
survive.
link to it on
Social
our
media.
Twitter.
Yeah, we got a Linktree. And if you like us and want us to keep doing this, we also do have a donation link that we haven't mentioned in quite a few episodes. But it's just like what I like to refer to as like a little upturned busker hat, but the internet. Maybe we can make a website. Maybe we can make some merch. We would like to do all those
And
things.
any
We
donations,
have
of course, will
plans.
be totally reinvested into the podcast.
Yes. Cool. Aw, Luce, I can't believe you called me on I'm still thinking about the aquatic monster thing.
You
I
must
hate
have been
this.
like cackling inside when you said that.
I was like, I want to do some weird, like, water stuff, and I was like, we're on a tree, and I was like, no, I can feasibly do this. And then you're like, oh, there won't be any aquatic monsters, and I was like,
We are so not equipped to fight something on a boat.
no,
It's
you're
going to go
not.
so badly.
But you have the
I'm
clout.
excited to
we've
see it.
We've been like pretty dang good at combat so
Oh,
far.
that was
so
nearly one
Luce,
for the jar. I like that. That was
Yeah.
close. We've been
But I'm
pretty
saying
good.
so. I figured Luce had to do something a little unorthodox to put us through our paces.
I'm being a little mean.
Because Will just went, here is the strongest woman alive.
Bonk.
Indeed. But no, like.
This material is unofficial and is not endorsed by Onyx Path. We are claiming no ownership over Onyx Path intellectual properties, game systems, art or stories, which remain the properties of the rights holders. All characters, names and locations used are either public domain or are entirely fictional and bear no intended resemblance to their real life counterparts. If you have any legal issues, please contact us directly.